Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. Welcome to your chemistry class of standard 10. I am your Lipabis and taking chemistry class. Today I will mainly discuss about different points on water, such as hardness of water, then removal of hardness of water, pollution of water, controlling the pollution of water, purity test of water or purify the water, etc. At first, water. This is the most important and life related term. Fresh water is needed for fresh health and for fresh life, and you know that another name of water is life. This water is actually builds our body, not only animal body, also plants body, because most of the part of our inside our body is water. So animal and plants, both kingdom, needs a major amount of pure water. So in this sense we can say water is of two types, hard water and soft water. So at first we have to know what is soft water and what is hard water. Soft water, it is actually gives ready and permanent lather with soap. Lather means foam. That means actually inside the water there are present different minerals. When the amount of minerals are less in water, then that water is called soft water, and it is easily creates foam with soap during washing. For example, rainwater, distilled water, we know that they are chemically pure water because they are easily create foam with soap, and very less amount of minerals are present inside this water. And hard water are those water which contains a lot of minerals, different minerals, and which does not give lather with soap easily. So this water is known as hard water. For example, sea water, river water, tap water, etc. Now we will know about the reason of hardness of water. The property of water to form an insoluble curd with soap instead of the lather. In other words, it is the soap destroying property due to the presence of bicarbonates, sulfates and chloride, salts of calcium and magnesium, and also iron, zinc, manganese. So hardness, what is the reason of hardness of water? The presence of bicarbonate, sulfate and chloride, salts of calcium, magnesium, or perhaps iron, zinc, manganese, etc. For the presence of these salts, the water becomes hard, and for hardness of water, it cannot pierce foam with soap. Also, you can describe the hardness like this way: the ability of the water to consume excessive amounts of soap before foaming. That means in hard water, wastage of soap occurs, because at first that soap is to act against the dissolved different minerals, and then it creates foam. But if we use soft water here, it easily creates foam without destroying or wastage of soap. Or the ability of the water to produce scale in water heaters and boilers where water temperature is increased dramatically. That means this hard water also make a thick layer inside the water heater's pipe or boilers, where actually water is boiled due to heat. So the dissolved minerals are form a thick layer, and which is actually ultimate results of forming this thick layer. Heat is more heat is needed in the next time to heat the to boil the water. In that sense, our heating system will be lost. That means more heat is needed for this, more fuel is needed to heat this, and sometimes that heaters or water heaters or boilers may be burst. In that cases, new equipments are needed. So these problems are created for using hard water in water heaters and boilers. Now we will easily understand actually what is hard water and what is soft water. Follow this picture. This is very clear picture to us that which one is soft water and which one is hard water. Soft water is a very clear and transparent liquid, and hard water, follow here, this is not transparent like soft water. Actually, if we see the microscopic picture of this water, then we can see why this hard water is light turbid, because there are present a lot of calcium and magnesium salts. But in case of soft water, there are present a very less amount of minerals or salts of different metals. For this, soft waters are clear and transparent than that of hard water. So you can easily differ between them. Hard water and soft water contains dissolved salts of calcium ion, magnesium ion, but soft water doesn't contain such dissolved salts. Doesn't form slather with soap, forms slather with soap. Large quantity of soap is required during washing. Soap is not wasted at all. So like this way you can differ hard water and soft water. Now, types of hardness. Hard water is of two types based on the types of salts, such as temporary hard water and permanent hard water, and also temporary hardness, permanent hardness. Temporary hardness is occurred due to the presence of calcium and magnesium bicarbonate salts. That means due to the presence of bicarbonate salts of calcium and magnesium. But permanent hardness is occur due to the presence of chloride and sulfate salts of calcium and magnesium, and also zinc, manganese, etc. Just you have to remember, temporary hardness occurs due to the presence of bicarbonate salts of calcium and magnesium, and permanent hardness occurs due to the presence of chloride and sulfate salts of calcium and magnesium. Now we will know about the removal of hardness from water. At first, temporary hardness removal process. Chemical process of boiling hard water. That means through boiling we can remove the temporary hardness from water, because if we boil temporary hard water which contains bicarbonate salts of calcium magnesium, then we know that due to heating, bicarbonate salts are dissociates into carbonate salts, water and carbon dioxide gas, and this calcium carbonate is insoluble in water. So like this way hard water becomes soft, and it will actually precipitate, and after filtering we can wash out from the water, and water becomes soft, or temporary hardness is removed through boiling. Also another process is there, that is lime process. Its name is Clark's method or calcium hydroxide method. If we use calcium hydroxide, you know that this is lime water. If we use this in temporary hard water, then also there are produced insoluble calcium carbonate and water becomes soft. And to remove hardness from water is also known as softening of water. Now we will know about the removal process of permanent hardness. Permanent hardness cannot be removed by boiling, but it can be removed by adding washing soda. For example, you know that calcium magnesium ions present in hard water reacts with sodium carbonate, sodium carbonate to produce insoluble carbonates. So for example, follow here, this is calcium sulfate. You know that permanent hardness occurs due to the presence of sulfate and chloride salts of calcium magnesium. So calcium sulfate, magnesium sulfate, this is permanent hard water. So when permanent hard water is treated with sodium carbonate, washing soda, then it will produce insoluble calcium carbonate and sodium sulfate, or also insoluble magnesium carbonate and sodium chloride. So like this way water becomes soft. So this is the process of removal of permanent hardness from water. Now also another process is lime soda process. Chemically converted all the soluble hardness causing impurities into insoluble precipitates, which may be removed by settling or filtering. That means after production of this insoluble substance, we remove this by settling or filtration. For this purpose, a suspension of calculated amount of lime, calcium hydroxide and soda are added. That means to remove the permanent or temporary both hardness, this process is applied, and in this process lime, that is calcium oxide, calcium hydroxide and sodium carbonates are added. Follow here, this is temporary hardness, calcium hydroxide is added. This is also temporary hard water, but here magnesium chloride, magnesium sulfate, this is permanent hard water. So when it reacts with calcium hydroxide, there is produced magnesium hydroxide, calcium chloride or calcium sulfate. This is also permanent hard water. When treated with sodium carbonate, produce sodium sulfate plus calcium carbonate. So actually these treatments process are used to purify the hardness of water. So now I hope you can easily differ now between these two hardness, temporary hardness and permanent hardness. Temporary hardness is due to the presence of bicarbonate of calcium magnesium, or here due to the presence of sulfates and chlorides. Can be removing by boiling, cannot be removing by boiling. Hardness removal is cheap, but hardness removal is expensive, and the reactions are there. So like this way easily you can differ between temporary hardness and permanent hardness. Now my dear students, I will talk about the water pollution. Nowadays this water pollution is increasing day by day, and not only human function, also this water is polluted in different purposes. Following the pictures, you can easily understand how water is polluted. Not only our household wasted, also water is pollution from the different factories due to the disposal of their wastage, from textile industries for the directly drainage their different toxic dyeing chemicals, and also from different industries their wastage and different their wastage generally mixed with different heavy metals, toxic heavy metals like lead, cadmium, mercury, chromium, etc. They are directly drained to the water, and like this way water is contaminated day by day, and this contamination is severely harmful to our health. So we have to be conscious from the very near to control the water pollution. And actually prevention of water pollution is mandatory now, and for this we have to take different steps to control the water pollution. At first, in different industries we have to establish the ETP plant. ETP means effluent treatment plant. That means the wastes or industrial wastes or industrial pollutants we never directly drainage to the water. We have to treat this wastage to the another products. For this ETP we have to must establish in different plants, and also another steps we have to take immediately to prevent the water pollution. Now we will know about water analysis. That means how can we understand about the quality of pure water? That means quality parameters. Quality parameters are three types: physical parameters or properties, chemical properties, and biological properties. If we test these parameters, then we can easily identify that our sample water is pure or impure. Among the physical properties, color of pure water is actually colorless, totally colorless. But if the water is not pure, so it will be colored. So pure water is colorless. So observing color, we can understand sometimes the water is pure or not. Odor: pure water is also odorless, but if some odor is present inside the water sample, then you have to consider that water is not pure. Temperature: generally in summer season the temperature of water will be 30 to 35 degrees centigrade, or sometimes it 40 degrees centigrade. But if the temperature of water is more than that of 40 degrees centigrade, in that cases you have to consider the water is already heat polluted. And this heat pollution occurs mainly when water from boilers or water heaters from different big industries are directly drained to the water. In that time the temperature of water is increased. Then oil contents from different vehicles or different industries, fuel oil are directly drained to the water. So oil contents, solid residues, for example from different in textile industries or other industries, their solid pollutants directly mixes with the water. So these are the actually turbidity. Pure water is not turbid, but in pure water there is present turbidity. So these, if the water contains solid residues, turbidity, oil content or grease content, these are actually parameters of impure water. Now chemical properties. pH. Checking pH, we can identify the water purity of water. The pH level of pure water is 6.5 to 9, 4.5 to 9.5, 4.5 to 9.5. But if the pH level is increased than 9.5, then that water is not pure. And we can easily identify pH using pH paper or pH meter. Then dissolved oxygen, or another terms are also used, COD, BOD. COD means chemical oxygen demand, and BOD means biological oxygen demand. Biological oxygen demand, actually the amount of oxygen, dissolved oxygen, which is needed to disposes or which is needed to decompose the organic matter dissolved in the water. So if the BOD level is high, then the water becomes impure. COD means total chemical oxygen demand. Chemical oxygen demand, that means the amount of total oxygen which is needed to decompose of organic, not only organic, inorganic matter also. So the BOD value is always less than that of COD value, and the greater COD value is also represents the impurity of water. Like this way, through the testing of these parameters, we can easily identify the water is pure or impure. Now we will know about water purification. There are different processes to purify water. Among them, chlorination. Chlorination means previously bleaching powder is used in chlorination process. If we use bleaching powder to the water, then that bleaching powder, you know that the chemical name of bleaching powder is calcium chlorohypochlorite. So this a chemical substance reacts with water and produce chlorine gas, and this chlorine gas actually kills the germs present inside the water, and the water becomes pure. But nowadays in chlorination process, different chlorine tablets are used, and in market these are chlorine tablets are available. So if we put chlorine tablets one or more inside the water, then this chlorine directly kills the germs of water, and water becomes pure, and it is prepared for drinking purposes. Now another process is boiling. If we boil the water about 15 to 20 minutes, then the water becomes pure, but it is harmful for the arsenic contaminated water. So boiling is also a purification process. Another process is sedimentation. Sedimentation means if there are presence insoluble particles, insoluble impurities are present inside the water. In that cases, if we settle the water for some times, then the insoluble big floating impurities are suspended or sedimented at the bottom of the container and heavy at the container. That means if the impurities are insoluble and heavy, in that cases they are sedimented at the bottom if we keep it rest. And also another process are there in sedimentation. If we use 1 teaspoonful potash alum or fitkiri inside the water, and then if we settle at rest, then all the impurities are settled at the bottom and form a sediment. And after filtering, or if we pouring clear water from the upper part, then it will be pure water. Now another process is filtration process. Nowadays this is very popular in our home. For drinking purposes we use actually filter machine to purify our drinking water. So here this is nothing, here just impure water is becoming pure for the filtration process. Filtration process means here the impure water is filtering using a filter paper, and in filter machine there is used filter different filtering system. For this, water is filtered and becomes pure. Also another process is known as distillation process. You know that distillation process means at first water is evaporated, then water vapor. We know that if impurity is present inside the water, but only water is evaporated at 100 degrees centigrade. So pure water vapor, if we insert inside the condenser means which cools down the water vapor, then again turns the water vapor into liquid water. So like this way, from impure water totally or chemically pure water we will obtain through the distillation process. So like this way also water is purified, and this water is mainly used in different laboratories and industries. So like this way water can be purified. So my dear students, today up to this I hope you can easily understand, but also you have to read the book properly and to get the proper knowledge about these topics. So up to that, be well and staying safe. Thank you. Goodbye.